to Harvey P Watches. As always, thank you to those who've liked and subscribed to my videos. I really appreciate it. Please click like on the videos if you would like to see more watches. Regular viewers may recall that in episode 3 we looked at the Casio WQV-10 wrist camera from 2000. We mentioned that in that episode that the WQV-10 model evolved into a colour model that we will look at in a later episode, and so we will look at it in this episode. This is a Casio WQV-10 colour wrist camera from 2001. This was also part of Casio's e-databank range. This is the watch that I purchased on the 5th of March 2002 for £185. Although in his collection he has 2 versions. This one with a stainless steel bracelet and this one with a resin strap. The Casio WQV-10 was the world's first wrist camera watch, and as such this WQV-10 model is the world's first colour wrist camera watch with a colour screen. You have to remember that when this was released, taking photos with mobile phones was not yet commonplace, and so this watch was very high tech. In addition to a colour 25,000 pixel CMOS sensor that produced slightly larger images, this improved version also boasted a colour LCD screen, colour calendar, digital 2x zoom, image exchange feature between 2 wrist cameras. You can see an example of some of the photos took with this watch here in 2001. Whilst the images are displayed at 78 by 72 pixels on the watch screen. Once download that can be viewed at 176 by 144 pixels to see all these features more. Let's take a closer look at the watch. The watch has rather an attractive, almost Art Deco type design with 2 buttons on the left, 3 on the right and a main shutter button on the front. If we compare both the stainless steel bracelet version with the resin strap version, both have a resin case with stainless steel inserts. The stainless steel bracelet version, however, always seems to have a blue resin body, whereas the resin strap version has a black resin body. Both versions measure around 40mm by 50mm. Looking at the top of the watch, you can also see the camera lens, and hidden next to it under the tinted glass is an infrared port for sending and receiving photos. Due to the bracelet, the stainless steel version is also much heavier. If we compare the WQV-10 with the WQV-10, we can see that the design is very similar, which is surprising as the WQV-2 models and the WQV-3 models were very different. As with previous versions, the watch takes a large CR2032 battery, and Casio expects it just to last around 6 months. As such, there is a quick battery access panel on the back. Inside the watch is Casio's 2412 module. At the top of the module, you can see the CMOS sensor / camera attached by a ribbon cable. To save power, the watch goes into a sleep mode. Pressing any button to bring it out of sleep mode presents the Casio logo. Looking at the face of the watch, the first thing to note is the information display. Pressing the top right button, you can change the colour theme of the display. There are 6 different themes to choose from. Pressing the top left button allows you to set the time and date and also change the screen contrast with 9 different levels. Moving out of timekeeping mode, press the bottom left button once takes you to what Casio calls a visual data bank mode, which is where you can view details of how many images can still be taken before the memory is full, and also all the images in the watch memory. Using the buttons on the right, you can cycle forwards or backwards through the photos, whilst pressing the middle button would also display any further data stored with the photo. Pressing the bottom left button twice takes you to the infrared mode. Here there are 4 icons which allow you to send images to a PC, send and receive images from another watch, send images to a game device, send images to another device like a PDA, etc. All these options allow you to choose what photos to transmit. To send images to a PC, this requires an infrared receiver to be installed. Images could be sent to another watch if one watch was in send mode and the other in receive mode. Pressing the bottom left 3 times brings up the alarm mode. The watch has 5 alarms and an hourly chime. Pressing the bottom left button 4 times brings up a standard stopwatch. There is also a calendar mode that can be activated by pressing the middle button on the right. The watch stores calendars for the years 2000 to 2039. Now we have covered all the basic functions that brings us to the camera mode. This is my cat Coco, who's going to be our model. To activate the camera, you press the larger shutter button on the front of the watch. This briefly shows how many shots are available to take and then presents a live view of what you are looking at. Once the images is framed, pressing the shutter button again takes the photo. The watch also has a 2x digital zoom that is activated and turned off by pressing the middle button on the right. We covered digital zoom in my first Harvey P photography video and mentioned that all it is doing is cropping and enlarging the image. As you can see from these photos taken with the watch, on the whole the 2x zoom feature isn't very good at all. One feature on this watch that can get frustrating is that if you leave the camera view running for more than 20 seconds, if you exit and go back into it, you get a message to wait whilst the voltage of the watch is being checked. To help try and improve the lighting with the photos, when you are in the camera mode, pressing the bottom right cycles through 3 light settings: outdoor, indoor and dusk. These can also be manually configured. In camera mode, pressing the top left button activates the brightness setting, which with the buttons on the right you can make the images darker or brighter. Talking of brightness, Dad said one of the biggest issues he had with this watch was using it in the bright sunlight, as the screen is not backlit and so it can be hard to see the screen at times. The watch also has a camera time button, which if I'm honest seems to be a bit useless on a watch. With this you can set a 2-second, 5-second and 10-second timer on the camera. Another feature of the watch is that once you have taken a photo, you can add a data to it. In the visual data bank mode, pressing and holding the top left button for 1 second brings up the photo editing menu, where you can delete images, sort images, format, everything in the memory or add a name or info to a particular photo. It's not a quick process cycling through each letter one by one, but it is effective. On this watch we have quickly skimmed over many of the features, as to go through everything in detail would make this video even longer. So there you have it, the Casio WQV-10 colour wrist camera from 2001. As someone who loves photography, I love the idea behind this watch, although it would have been so much nicer if the images were better quality. It is a great addition to the collection though. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed these videos and would like to see more watches, please hit the like key and perhaps even subscribe. You can see more of our watches at www.modestwatches.com, and you can see my website at www.harveyp.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Stay safe. Bye.